Hi everybody, welcome to the Heron Farm and Event Center for our continuing quarantine yoga on the farm here. We are in Hip Camp spot 3? I think we are in spot 3. You can now rent campsites and our cafe and some campers here at the Heron all summer, so check us out on Hip Camp and Airbnb. Today we were going to do a little bit of a flow. It's not typically something I teach. Been feeling a lot of heaviness lately, and sometimes just a little mindful movement can help us kind of get out of there, get out of that stuck and heavy feeling. So let's find our comfy seats. I also have Julie Rockcastle here, owner of the Heron Farm and Event Center, and Sweet Pea the dog might be making an appearance. So let's find our sit bones. And again, like the other videos, it is easier to find something to sit on. Straps and blocks are also recommended, but we're just going to make it up as we go, so it's not necessary. So to start, let's just land in our sit bones. You can actually rock back and forth, side to side, just really kind of zone in on where your sit bones are. Landing in the center of the sit bones. So building that earth part of the seat, feeling that grounded energy. So I've been feeling a lot of either going between feeling too heavy or feeling a little too airy. So both working on the lifting of the seat and the grounding of the seat helps. So finding the sit bones, legs are heavy, really feeling that downward energy in the lower part of the seat, and then begin to lift through the spine. So feel like your spine is lifting up and out of the pelvis, feeling the breastbone lift, feeling the top of the head lift, but all without letting go of that grounding. So you're really getting that, downward and upward energy of the seat. And then just land. Really land in your seat. Just allowing yourself to feel whatever you're feeling in the moment. Release any tension in the face and the jaw. Take a deep inhale. Let's bring the shoulders up. So this is kind of our tension posture. Everything's lifting up, and then on an exhale out of the mouth, just drop. So again, inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, drop. Noticing your breath. Reminding ourselves that all of these feelings are impermanent. Look up, but dropping the shoulders, feeling the breastbone lift, still feeling grounding into your sit bones. Exhale, hands down to the heart. And just keep it going. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time, inhale up, exhale down. All right, so let's come onto our hands and our knees. So in a flow style class, you're really the steward of your own body. So if something doesn't feel right, then just don't do it. You can always go to the child's pose and then join us later. Or just modify and have a seat. So we're just going to start in our flexion and extension. So we exhale and flexion, inhale and extension. And see if you can really marriage those two movements together. So see if you can really make it flow between inhale, exhale. So awakening the spine. And the breathing is always done in and out of the nose. Great. And then come to a neutral tabletop position. And then to add a little balance element, we're going to extend the left leg. So maybe this is enough of a balance and a strength for you. You can also add the right arm forward, being sure to not let the belly drop towards the mat. You don't want to turn it into a back bend. You want to reach out from your core. And you can add a little flexion extension here. So this would be flexion, drawing up. And then on an inhale, back to extension. One more time, flexion, inhale, extension. And then knee and hand come down, take a breath. And then let's extend the back leg, the right leg. And then left arm forward. So you want to make sure that this hip isn't rolling up, you're keeping it even with the other. And then flexion, extension, flexion, extension. One more time, flexion, extension. And then knee and hand come down. Let's bring our right leg forward. And just make sure the ankle is under the knee. And let's make our way up. If you have blocks, you can have your hands on blocks. If not, just clasping the hands on the thigh. So this is our back bend prep, so we're opening up the front of the body. And to increase that arc, you can also bring your left arm up. And then both hands on the mat. Let's curl the toes under. So this is where we can invite a little lightness. So the grounding is through the feet. That's the grounding earth element of the pose. And then to get lightness, once you have the grounding, you can make your way up. And then hands back down. So we're going to switch legs, so you can either just come down to the back knee and change your legs, or to invite a little more lightness, you can do a little hop. Dropping the back knee, finding the ground through the left foot, knee over ankle, and then come up. The sun feels lovely. So here you'll feel that opening in the top of the knee, moving all the way up to the collarbone, and you can inhale the right arm up. And then both hands on the ground, curl the back toes under. find the earth element in the pose through the feet, and then you can lift up from there. Making sure the back leg is straight, opening the breastbone. You can also play around with different arms. You can have them here, facing forward, or up, wherever. And then hands back down. So let's open up the back of the legs a little. We're going to do Supta Padangusthasana, but I don't really have a strap here with me, so we're going to do a method where you don't need a strap at all. So we're going to lie on our backs. Both knees are bent at first. We're going to bring the right leg in. So if you can take your toe here, that's great. If not, just hold the back of the leg. So breathing into the back of the right leg. Make sure you're breathing and the shoulders are away from your ears. And then let's change legs. Inviting breath. And then coming down. Let's bring both knees in. Roll to our side. And press up. Good. All right. Let's see downward facing dog. So remember, in downward facing dog, we do want those natural curves of the spine to show up, especially the low back curve. So really finding your fingers. I'm gonna put my hair up, a little windy here. So make sure your fingers are spread and the weight is predominantly underneath the knuckles and feels like you are spreading the energy out and you're not dumping into your wrists. So we'll start by curling the toes under, press back, knees to the side. And then the feet can go forward, lift the sit bones up, and then you can press the heels down. But don't sacrifice the low back in order to get the heels down. Build up your whole pose with breath. And then let's walk our feet up. Toes face forward. Make sure that your ribs are on your thighs. And then Uttanasana, our forward bend. So you can play around with straightening the legs as long as the ribs stay on the thighs. So I'm a little tight, so I'm going to leave my knees slightly bent. And then just reaching forward to whatever creates that straight line with the spine. So I'm not going to force down towards my toes. I'm going to reach more out so my spine is long. And then coming up to Tadasana, reaching my fingertips behind, pressing into the feet, coming up. So feeling all four corners of my feet lifting up on the kneecaps. So I'm feeling connected to earth underneath my feet. I'm feeling connected above through the top of my head. And bringing my hands Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And just keep that going for a few more breaths. And then the next breath up, we're going to bend our knees. We're going to come back to the Uttanasana. Taking a breath here. Going to plant the hands and step back into plank. So feel like you are pressing the ground away through your hands, reaching out through the heels, and inviting strength in the body. And then lower slowly all the way down. Inhale, just a little cobra. So I'm really grounding through my legs and my pubic bone. I'm pulling back on my hands and I'm keeping my chin down. And then on the next exhale, back to downward facing dog. So this time, instead of walking the feet up, we're going to try to swing the leg through. So it does help if you lift the leg, bring the knee in, shift forward, and then drop the right foot down, and then follow with the left. Another Uttanasana. And then inhale up, Tadasana. Take a breath. Inhale up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Plant the hands, step back into plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath. So this is a good pose to check in with your face and your jaw, that you're not getting any unnecessary tension there. And then stepping to the top of the mat. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Tadasana. Take a breath. So even when we're in motion, we're slowing the motion down in our minds and we're following the breath. So only move as quick as your breath and make sure you're taking deep breaths through your whole body. Inhale up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Plant your hands, step back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, little cobra, open the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find the breath. Release the jaw. So this time we're going to raise the right leg, bring the right foot forward. So we're in a high lunge here, and then we're going to come all the way up. Then planting the back foot so it's at a 45-degree angle, making sure the front knee is over the ankle, and then reach out, warrior two. Gazes over the front fingertips, and then right hand to the outside of the right foot and extended side angle. And then facing forward again. So the left toes are forward now. Going to go back to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find your breath. Release the jaw. So doing a check-in here where your sit bones. You don't want downward facing dog to be too narrow because then it just rounds the low back. So make sure the stance is wide enough that you feel that low back curve pressing into the hands. Left leg up. Left leg comes through. So take your time. Make sure that you're connecting into the earth. You're connecting your foot. And then inhale, come up. Plant the back foot. Reach the arms out. Warrior two. Gazes over the front fingertips. And make sure warrior isn't leaning forward like this. You want the torso directly up and then reaching out from the collarbones. Left hand to the outside of the left foot and then reaching the arm. Chest to the side. And then back to square, back to plank. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. And stepping the feet forward, Uttanasana and Tadasana. Find your breath. So we're going to do one balancing pose, and I actually like to balance right on the earth or just like on a floor. I'm not a big fan of balancing on the mat, but whatever feels comfortable for you. So, Tadasana important, feeling the energy, your big toe mound, little toe mound, inner and outer heel. So you want to find something to gaze at that's maybe 8 or 10 feet in front of you on the ground. You don't want to look down at it, but something just to have a soft gaze on. Going to slowly put the weight into our left foot, making sure the hip doesn't go out to the side, so you're lifting up through your vertical axis. You have two choices here. You can either drape the arch of your foot so your leg turns out on the other arch, or you can bring the heel up into the inner thigh. So whatever one you decide, just commit to it. I like to bring my hands and the heart first and then grow up from there. So your hips are pointed forward. It's okay, the knee's not meant to be completely to the side. So definitely a downward and upward energy here. And on an exhale, come down. So back to Tadasana. Shifting the weight into the right foot. you have a couple choices here. We're going to start out with Shalabhasana, or the locust pose. So you have a couple choices here. I'm going to have my arms back so my palms are facing my legs. So you can either do just a little locust, lifting up the arms but leaving the legs, grounded into the earth. So that's mostly for upper body. Or you can lift both legs. Dropping the shoulders down the back. And then exhale, take a break. So you can make a little pillow with your hands. Breathing into the low back. And then again, reaching back. Inhale up. And exhale, break. Feel like you're sending your breath to your entire back body. And then you can either do Shalabhasana one more time, or we can do the bow pose, Dhanurasana. So with Dhanurasana, we have the knees bent, and I actually like to pick up my legs and move them back to give my hip flexors all the room they need. I'm going to reach back and take the fronts, activate the feet, and on an inhale, lift up and pull back with your feet. A little uneven ground. Make sure you're not lifting with the chin. Pull back, lift, and exhale, break. And then let's plant the hands. Let's do a little cool down twisting. So legs straight in front. And whenever you sit like this, just make sure that you are lifting up through your spine and that you're not slouching and rolling into your low back. Going to bend the right knee. Let's give the right knee a hug with the left arm. And whenever we do twist, especially seated twist, we want to lift up through the breastbone, exhale. So at first, I twist and I look over my right shoulder, and then I like to de-rotate the neck and look at my left foot. Slowly work for the other side. Bending the left knee, hugging with the right arm. Lift through the breastbone, exhale, twist. And de-rotate the neck. Rotate, and let's just lie down, bend the knees, have the feet a little wide, and we're just going to bring the knees from side to side. And then let's enter our Shavasana. So feet are hip distance apart, hands are palm face up. So really finding that lying down pose that you feel most comfortable. It's helpful to have something under the head so your forehead is higher than your chin. Close the eyes, feeling the belly soft. Release the jaw and the throat. And then just allow yourself to sink your energy down into the earth. Almost feel like the earth cradling you. And just allow yourself to be. Let's start to deepen the breath. You can stay in Shavasana if you're comfortable here and want to stay longer. Or you can begin to move your fingers and toes and slowly begin to bring small movements into the body. You can bend your knees into your belly and roll onto your side. Just staying here for a moment, taking a breath. And then pressing yourself up to a seated pose. We can all join our hands in front of our heart. So I hope you all are well, healthy, safe, happy, using this time to go deeper in. Much love to you all. Namaste. Namaste.